A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on GTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. In studio with me is someone who is no stranger to this set and is always welcomed here to bring us updates on whatever topic it is. Today we are BVI Chamber. I want to welcome you, Shayna Smith-Archer, to the set. Your sister's here now. We're sisters here.
Thank you for having me back, Kathy. And as you said, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Yes. How have you been? It's been a few months that, we haven't sat and had a conversation since you started doing new things.
Yeah. And I took on another job. As we like to say, sometimes I have so many hats.
Yeah.
So, but, my passion is still with community advocacy and making sure that, those efforts for us to have a better country, better quality of life. And business for me is one of those things where, it is true what we call economic empowerment. Is how our people are going to go from strength to strength. Because as I was saying to somebody the other day, without businesses, there are no jobs. Without jobs, there's no money.
Exactly.
So it's a simple equation for me in terms of the work of the chamber to make sure that businesses are able to develop and grow, because then the economy, that is how you have a strong economy. Because the businesses, the business leaders in our country, those are the unsung heroes, Kathy.
Yeah, and it reminds me of a conversation I was having with someone just the other day, and we were talking about social life, and we were talking about how, you're not seeing many people going out to nightclubs and certain bars anymore. And when the person said to me, what some people do not realize is that if you who have the money decided you're going to stay home now and not go out
save
to
that money,
to save that money, what is happening to that business that you would have, and that money you usually
would
circulate and
exactly.
it goes around. So
exactly.
you holding on to it and allowing it to, just build in the bank is stifling the economy in a sense.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
No, it does. It's almost as if, again, any, what we would say, I guess, spending decisions that are made, the consumer is essentially also part of the driving mechanism of an economy. If they don't spend, again, businesses don't get money, and then they can't pay people, so you're not employing persons and all of this. So it's a circle, that has, if one person makes a decision, it affects everybody else.
Okay, well, credit to Steve Parlon who opened up my eyes to that aspect of it.
Really see, and so he understands his industry, because it is like that. If costs of things are going up and people don't have as much disposable income because your salaries aren't going up, then we have to start to make decisions on what we spend the money that you do have on.
Awesome. All right, and here is where also the BVI Chamber of Commerce comes in, because you are a network of businesses who pool ideas. You do so many different things to strengthen that arm of the economy business.
Yeah.
How it's been going?
Well, it's been going good. The usual activities, where we're looking for, whether it's advocacy, so persons are having challenges. Our biggest thing, Kathy, at the end of the day, from an advocacy standpoint, is ease of business, right? So it'll always be, how easy it is to start up a business. Everything from getting the trade license, registering with Social Security, NHI, Inland Revenue, having to act with persons have to go to labor and immigration as it relates to work permit when they have to bring in labor. Even the banking sector. Businesses have concerns about things like, are we able to pay online? How much does it cost to operate with the credit card machines? Because everything has a cost. So the cost of business is something that we always try to keep a close eye on and understand where there's changing dynamics and, the policies. Because one of the things for me right now, we were talking about this actually in board meeting this week, is the maintenance of if you are incorporated and as a company, what that actually means for you as a business. So for us as an MPO, we're incorporated. So there's fees that have to be paid every year. There's compliance that has to be done. There's reports. There's a lot of things. So for us as an MPO, I understand what a small business, maybe with 2 or 3 employees, have to go through if they decide to do that. And we want to make sure that, these are options that are available to them, because it's initially, we know these things came about initially with the development of financial services industry. And it is important to have the regulations, but it has to be something that essentially, you're not drowning in fees every year as a small business. So that is something we're going to look into this year into next year, as far as figuring out how, again, we can make it easier to operate as a business person in the BVI.
Like, have you seen a growth in businesses? We're still seeing more businesses coming on board. And
No shortage of ideas, Kathy. And I think the thing what I love is also to, it's starting from very young. So you have persons even in high school. When I went to the Youth Business Expo last year in November, you had seniors. I was meeting seniors who, they've been doing the business for maybe 2 years. So from time they were in high school, they had a business idea and they started to build it. So for us now, the next part of that is making sure now that they have the education and the training and development, so they understand, how to set up the business from a legal standpoint, what is needed for marketing, branding, and financial management. Because oftentimes they have the skill set, but then business skills don't necessarily translate if you have the technical skills. So that's something that we find is very important, that persons who, they might have come up with the business idea, they know how to actually produce a service or a product, but that they understand what it takes to manage a business, and that they have that.
From where you sit, are you seeing more some of these new businesses popping up in the agriculture sector and in the technology sectors?
It's varied. Most of what we see though is usually around probably professional services or retail. So products. We would love to see more from the agriculture sector, and I think under one of my other hats, there's a lot that can be done in that space from a business standpoint, because one of the things that I think is opportunity for us is agri-processing. So oftentimes we think about agriculture as just farming and fishing, but when we go to the store, we're buying a lot of products that actually started on a farm or came out of the ocean because they've been processed. So, like manufacturing, these are things that whether it's the farmers that actually get into agri-processing, or that's somebody else that gets into that space and says, okay, I'm going to have the farmers and the fishers supply me with the raw material, basically, and then process from there. So that's something that I hope, with all the conversations that are being going around from the government side of things, that they look at how can we invest in this particular industry to really start to diversify the economy, because that's the other thing. We just don't want to be tourism and financial services alone, but we want to be able to see other industries. Again, there's opportunity there, but if businesses are able to get sometimes the seed money, so to speak, then they're able to actually bring businesses online and grow them. So over a period of 10 years, you're talking about jobs. Again, spending money to go to the entertainment areas.
The social part
we have to live balanced lives. So, you want to be able to go out and support the other industries within the economy. And that's, again, part of some of the policies that we want, or we continue to advocate for, I should say. Because, this year, one of the advocacies that we weren't directly leading charge on, but was talk about the tourism strategy. And, what is it that we're trying to accomplish when it comes to tourism? And essentially, what's next? you know, because yes, we have cruise, yes, we have overnight, you know, but what else can we develop? Because it's a very competitive space regionally and globally. Tourism isn't anything unique to the Caribbean, you know, it's tourists, everybody, whether you're going to China or you're going to South America, everybody has tourism as part of their economic space. So we have to know what is unique about us in terms of what's our product. What is it that we're trying to sell to persons to come and spend money and make sure again we build our quality of life as a result of that.
Nice, nice. And it's for reasons that are like those that you guys do things like the Trade Expo that's coming up.
Exactly. So this month, it actually was scheduled for May initially, but you know, based on how things were in terms of momentum were happening with the registration, we decided let's give it some time, and we pushed it out to this month. So the 19th and 20th of September, the Buy BVI Trade Expo 2025 will be at the Multipurpose Sports Complex again, and we have over 30 booths and counting. Everybody from BVI Electricity, Labor Department. We're also going to have the Elmhurst High School Robotics Club, because again, all of these are things where we think about it. You know, technology is the next wave. Yes. So again, job opportunities, business opportunities are things that we advocate for and always will encourage. Who else we have? Versus the communication sector. I mean, the banks, some of the banks are also going to be there. I'm going to touch on who our sponsors are, but you know, I'm excited to see, and I love it when I hear people come and say, oh, I didn't know about this business. I didn't know about that business.
That's so, when you find an atmosphere like that. Yeah,
so again, because they don't necessarily have a storefront, but it is a business, and that's also something we want to continue to educate the public on, that it's not just about the storefronts, but that there's e-commerce. So a lot of businesses are online. But it's always good when they're able to, again, we bring them together in the exhibition to be able to showcase, you know, these are the services and products that's available right here in the Virgin Islands, and that we want to, you know, buy local, always, buy BVI.
Buy BVI.
Buy BVI.
I was at an event not so long ago, and I was complimenting someone on her outfit, and she said, I bought this at X place. I always shop home.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something that, you know, if we continue to do, we can see the economy of this territory getting better. Some people may look at, okay, I could get this variety from there and there and there, but then when you ship it, you look the cost.
Yeah.
You know, in most cases, you can get a lot of things right here, and when you check, maybe a little $1 or $2 above, but what is $1 or $2 when you're contributing to your livelihood when you check on it?
Yeah, and that's the important thing too, Kathy. I love that you brought that as an example, because again, businesses locally, they pay taxes, and those taxes are what essentially take care of your social services in your country. So when we go and we shop online for everything, you know, we're actually doing a disservice to ourselves, because Amazon doesn't pay tax, and even that is something where, you know, we have to have a serious conversation with our membership about, should we have online sales tax to kind of level the playing field, because it is not something against the consumer, but again, looking at the overall economic development of our country, we have to make sure that we are safeguarding the market for our businesses first, to make sure that it makes sense for them to be in business, because nobody starts a business to be in a loss. Because again, everybody's going to show up. The employees want to get paid. You have to pay your bank. You have to pay the light bill. You have to pay your landlord. So,
and don't forget the other part. You have to have a margin of profit
and be able to pay yourself.
Yes.
Right. So so that's all part of what really happens inside of an economy, and how we would want persons to start to really think about business, even when you're going into business, that you have a social responsibility as well, right? Awesome. And it actually comes through paying taxes. As first and foremost, sponsorship of different clubs and events and initiatives is also good, but your full social responsibility really is accomplished when you pay your taxes to make sure that, you know, Social Security is healthy. When people retire, they're able to get their age benefits. Same thing with the National Health Insurance, and making sure that they have, you know, medical coverage when it is needed.
Yes, awesome. So tell us a little more detail about the Trade Expo before you delve into that.
Okay.
Is there still room for persons to apply?
I don't, maybe. I'm gonna say they should call the office. We actually, before I forget, because I would be very upset with myself, we have a new executive director in the person of Mrs. Dawn Leonard. So Dawn, I want to thank her for coming on board. She came on board in July and she has taken the expo and just literally ran out the door with it. So, they can call, and depending on what it is they want to do, we'll see where we can accommodate, because we don't want to tell anybody no. But we did close registration, but they can go on the webpage, see the sites booths, and then contact us and see what we can do. Also want to big up our event sponsors. Go sponsor again this year, AZB Production. That's my boy Abu Pen. Republic Bank is also on board as a go sponsor this year. Silver sponsors, Smith and Associates and CIBC Bank. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bronze sponsors, Unite BVI again back. They've also been doing an awesome job sponsoring the registration fees of 10 businesses. Nice. And they will have a sign on their booths indicating who was sponsored by Unite. Yes. So, nice. We really thank them for their philanthropy in this area, as well as Jahphix. They sponsor the billboard that is up on the highway. So that's there. And we have awesome door prizes. I don't have time to go through the list, Kathy. But what we started when we came back in 2023 was, every hour or so, we're calling out door prizes. So as you come into the expo, you get a ticket, and again,
that's patrons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, it's BVI businesses sponsoring through that by giving us different prizes, so they can promote their business that way, right? Okay. So because again, persons might get a prize to some place, let's say for lunch, that they wouldn't have normally patronized, and that's an opportunity. So even that is something where persons think that, I'm not able to actually have a booth, that there are other ways that they can participate and expose themselves at the expo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And for those who are in there, is there a component of competition among those?
Oh yes, yes. So there's actually 3 awards that we do. There's a biz pitch competition. So there will be judges that come in on Friday afternoon, and they will go around to the booth. So those that want to participate, they will be ready with their business pitch, and they will that will be judged. And then there's also the People's Choice. So we're asking again, when the patrons come in, they will go around and come back and vote for the best booth. So there's an award for that, and also most creative. So the judges will also be judging that aspect of it. So again, it's something where we want to encourage people to bring your A game. Don't just show up to kind of interact and bend, but that it is something where you move from having kind of like a hustle mentality to understand, again, I'm in business. This takes marketing is part of it, networking is part of it, because even businesses coming and seeing other businesses there, it's something that it's an opportunity for you to see what business might be able to support your business in terms of services. As a result. Exactly. Nice. And when persons travel abroad now, because regionally now is my next move in terms of encouraging our local businesses to participate in regional trade expos. We receive contact from Jamaica Export Authority inviting buyers to come to see their trade expo and actually buy Jamaican products and services. So that is something where we want to grow the expo to that point where we have, solid services and products that we can actually reach out to the region, come over, or go, and see what else is out there. So we get a sense of, the expo isn't just a social event, but again, this is business, and this is truly something that persons shouldn't miss. And even if they don't come every year, because what I also liked about this year's lineup, Kathy, is that we have some persons that have been there before, and then you have a lot of new faces.
Okay. And this is not just for persons who are member of the chamber?
No. So this is any business. We have Bougainvillea Clinic, the Wellness Center, Jetpack Logistics. Some of them I don't know myself. So I'm also looking forward to see. We have also our youth entrepreneurs, Creative Kids Nation. They were there for the last 2 years. Timeless Films and Media. Just giving a shout out. Can't go through the whole list. BVI Finance. I mentioned CIBC and Republic Bank. They're going to be there actually also as exhibitors. Shine Jewels, Rebels, IC Pop, Slash by Row, BVI Diabetes Association. I want to give them a special shout out, because they did a really great job last year. Again, getting persons, they're doing their usual health checks. So they're going to be there. And Ethian's Farm, she's going to be running the concession stand. So again, Friday and Saturday, come by and get your lunch. And while you're there,
Yes.
take a look at the
Yes.
expo.
You take a break,
Yeah.
don't cook at home. You just come down there
And
get
it
some
was
food.
she was shocked because last year too when by Friday afternoon before we were done she was sold out.
So loud. So she
Yeah,
know you gotta
so
come
Saturday
back
she
this
came
time.
prepared. So I know this year she's definitely going to come fully loaded and ready to go because again she doesn't necessarily have a storefront, she does catering, but this is a way for persons to actually again learn about what it is Evian Farms does. They probably she was around I think at Caribbean's Cultural Fiesta.
Yes.
So persons may see them but they're not sure. And she actually is a farmer, so they do have
From
the
farm
crop.
to table.
Yeah, they have produce on sale. She had produce last year that was selling there by the concession stand, Caribbean Insurance and Creative Creation. So I want to give a special plug to Creative Creation because Vincia just always goes above and beyond. Vincia literally did a display Friday, broke it down and did a second one, right?
Yes.
So she's there asking me, so should I do a third? I said, Vincia, whatever. Surprise us,
Yeah,
right?
she markets herself well.
Yeah,
Because
very
I remember
well.
the first day I saw what I saw, and so I went back the Saturday.
And was like, what happened? That's not what you had yesterday.
I
Yeah.
came to get a good shot of it.
Yeah. So catch it Friday because it's not going to be
Never
there
know
on
what
Saturday.
she's gonna do for Saturday.
She's going to switch it out. So and again, these are young business owners that, you just see so much potential in them because they're always on. They're always on, they're always thinking about what's that next thing that I can do, what's the next service, what's the next product that can be done. So no shortage of business ideas. We just have to make it easy for them to actually start their businesses and for them to get the support that they need when they do have challenges. Because, business is not an easy space. People look at especially our medium and maybe the larger businesses and figure out they've made it. But with more money comes more responsibility, and it's not all glitter and gold, So it's something where that for us is what we appreciate, and that's why I say they're the unsung heroes because after the hurricane, they're the ones that got up and rebuilt. Because if they didn't come back, Kathy, again, you don't have a job to go fix your house and your car. If after the pandemic, again, that leveled out tourism for 2 years. And persons had to dig deep as it relates to continue to operate and then still be able to come back and continue. So we did lose some businesses, and I think maybe for a time, because again, persons will, if this is their passion, they're not gonna leave it alone. They'll be back.
What about the presence of some NGOs? Are we going to have some of those there too? Because while we exist in the business space, we need those support arms, the health services authorities, the WIN BVIs, the all of those are the Jaleel Cameron Foundations, the Unite BVI. We need those services.
They're all part of it. Yeah, they're all part of it. So I think that's something for us to really probably put a push. So like I mentioned, Unite, they support through the registration and the sponsorship. So the only NGO I'll tell you that's going to be there for certain right now is the Diabetes Association.
Okay.
But yeah, it is something again we encourage everybody because everybody needs that exposure.
Come on, Cancer Society.
And networking. And again, it's an opportunity again for persons to know what you do as an NPO or NGO. And also government businesses. I mean, electricity is also going to be there. I'm excited to see again their display because they always bring practical stuff to show you what's going on.
More what they do and how they do what they have to do.
And again, everybody needs power.
Yeah,
including businesses. So it's like
we need it. That's good.
So we don't have that. That's definitely a setback. So but that's one of the things where again the expo it's the variety again is showing what all we have, the diversity for me that already exists in the economy. It is the awareness now that the trade expo is bringing to that diversity. That's important.
All right, Shana, well,
Last thing.
us. Yeah.
Last thing.
Oh, shucks.
I almost forgot. We have our keynote speaker is Mr. KJ Headley for Novita Vita. So he's gonna come and tell his story as an entrepreneur and what he has been doing. So definitely, I think it's 10 o'clock is the opening ceremony on Friday. We may have shifted it to lunchtime, but Don will update. Anything anybody wants to know, please visit our website at www.bvichamber.org/events. And when you see the calendar come up on September, just click on the 19th and you'll see all the information there. So we're going to keep that updated, as well as following us on Facebook, Instagram. Call the office 345-3513. If you got any questions, we're open 10 to 3 every day. Okay. So they can pop in again, find out about our services, what are the benefits in terms of membership. One of the things too, Kathy, we want to try to make sure even our members, we have to remind them sometimes that they have access. Not just that, but you have access to the website platform. So whether they want to advertise a job, whether they want to promote an event, they have a press release that they want to put out there, all of that they have as part of their membership of the chamber. They have access to that. So we're going to be doing some more awareness around, again, our benefits and the services that we offer. We had someone contact us about doing business consultations. So that's something we're going to offer pro bono to members. And anyone else will have to pay a small fee, because we got to pay our light bill too. And your office space. And pay the landlord. So it's some new ideas, and we want to do a biz pitch competition next year. I am very keen to do that as one of the last things. And we also asking persons to consider being a director. Elections are coming up in October. That's the last thing. The last thing to the last thing. No, I'm still gonna be around, Kathy. I'm still around. But
don't be surprised that you're elected again to serve.
But or since we rebranded in terms of our name, we changed the structures. Now we have to have elections. So our annual general meeting is going to be next month. But I'll be back to talk a little bit more about that.
Yes, we'll get to that.
So that person's. But again, there's so much going on with the chamber that we want to make sure people are aware and also get excited about what's happening. Emails are always going out, so check your emails, keep in touch, stay following us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Alrighty-o. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on set. So much information. You've got to come again because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, I won't say I wait so long next time, Kathy.
Please don't. It wasn't
I gotta make time for our little chats.
Right?
We have some good chats. We have to have those chats.
All right. Thank you, and remember the Trade Expo is happening on the 19th and 20th of this month, not next month, of this month, and they don't cook on Friday and Saturday. Yes, you can go get some your lunch right there in the multipurpose sports complex. All right. And also, I want to put my colleague on blast. I am not sure if she signed up. I heard her talking about it, about the Islander Swim collection being there. If you haven't, Andrea,
sorry. We forgot about our fashion show. We have a whole fashion show. So yes, Islander Connection is one of our exhibitors, but let me make sure I get everybody, because we actually have, I think it's 3.
Yes. Oh yeah,
yes, we do. All right, so on
Morgan.
Saturday, 1 o'clock, come through for the Buy BVI Trade Expo Fashion Show, Islander Swim Collection, M Organic Club. You have no
yes,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
free entry. Come on through. Yes, I know, right? I apologize.
Robbie.
Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3 of our local fashion designers are going to be putting on a fashion show for us. Again, buy local. You don't know these things until you actually come through. So that's really key. So I am See, that's why my executive director was supposed to be here to make sure. But you filled in really good there, Kathy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Much came to my ears.
Yeah, you remember? Right? I'm like, yeah. So there was another last thing.
Yes. All right. It's been a pleasure being here with you, and thank you so much for the pleasure of your time being here with us on this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. Thank you as always, Shayna.
Thank you.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Large and small corporations in the BVI can't be wrong. Bovi HR, a BVI-based integrated solution of employee timesheets, leave tracking, scheduling, employment letters, HR processes, pay slips, and tax reports, including NHI, Social Security, and Inland Revenue, will make your management of employees easier. While Bovi HR can cater to the needs of larger enterprises, it also works exceptionally well for small companies. To sign up, visit bovihr.com, that is BOVIHR.com, or call us at 342-9686.